Hello, my name is Molly Erickson. I'm the Wellness Coordinator at One Place Family Justice Center. I'm glad y'all are here. I wish I was there in person, but this will have to do. I imagine that you've been sitting a lot in this training and that you've been sitting, listening, and watching the slides that Chief Nunn has, getting up to date on the research surrounding vicarious trauma. So that's what we're here to do, to bring it into the body. So wherever you go and whatever job you do, you have to take your body wherever you're going. So knowing how to take care of that and recognize certain signs and signals is super important in your line of work. So saying that, let's take a deep breath together and let it out. So in your line of work, keep exhaling. Your hands are really important, right? You need strong and steady hands. So let's take your hands palms up. Grab one set of fingers and just gently pull down. Good. So as you do that, start to rotate your thumb. Good. Now, Chief Nunn, here is your cue to find your camera on your phone and get a picture for me of them actually doing this. Good. Now swap other side. Other hand, pull the fingers down. So you have a dominant hand, a non-dominant hand. You need both to be steady and strong, right? Rotate that thumb. Good. You need these for so many parts of your job. Good. Now release that hand, turn your palms down, grab that set of fingers and pull this way. Now, as you pull this way, start to straighten the arm and notice what you feel right here. Good. Now rotate that thumb. Take a breath. Let the breath go. Release the hand over to the other side. So your palm is down, grabbing these fingers, pull down, and then straighten the arm and rotate the thumb. Take a deep breath in. And then let it out. Good. Now attached to your hands, let that go, are your arms. You also need them to be strong and steady, right? So one arm coming up, pull the shoulder down, the arm is up, bend the elbow, coming to the back of the head. Now grab that opposite elbow and pull. Good. So if your hand doesn't reach the back of your upper back right here, that's okay. It can be here, and you just lean this way. Good. Now that same arm, straighten it above like it was, and then bring it in front of you. Good. Thumb up, turn the thumb down. Turn the thumb up, turn the thumb down. One more time. Inhale, turn the thumb down. Good. Other arm. So the other arm floats up, shoulders down, elbow bends, hand to the back of the heart space. Grab that elbow and pull. Good. So notice where you feel it, and then stretch that arm back up. Bring the arm in front of the body here. So we're opening up this back of the shoulder blade here. Thumb is up, turn the thumb down. Turn the thumb up, turn the thumb down. One more time. Inhale, thumb up, thumb down. Good. Then let that go. Good. So your arms are attached to your torso here. Also, very important. You take it with you everywhere you go. Just gently twist and look behind you. Some of you are kind of grunting. Maybe something popped in there. Come back to center, twist, look the other way. Good. Maybe you got a pop on that side. Good. Coming back to center. I think y'all have a table in front of you. If not, you definitely have your knees. So rest your hands on your table or on the knees. Start to squeeze your shoulders back, shoulder blades coming together. Lift the chest so the collarbones get really long. Pull the belly out long and look up slightly. So you're stretching the whole front part of that body. Good. Now bring the chin into the chest, round the back. Shoulders come up to the ears. And you can even pull left and right, like if you're holding onto your knees or to the table. So you get some stretch there. Good. And then gently come back up to center. Now, here's where we are not falling out of our chair. You can hold onto your armrests if you have them. You can hold onto the bottom of your chair if you have that, or you can hold onto the table in front of you. We're just going to squeeze same side shoulder towards the hip, opening up this side of the ribs. So this is where we see how the top body fits into the bottom body. If it's okay with your shoulder, you reach your arm up and over. Maybe your neighbor's kind of close to you. Be careful. Don't hit your neighbor. Good. Chief Nunn, you can take another picture now. And then over to the other side. Again, the arm doesn't have to come up. You could just be squeezing these ribs together, opening up these ribs. Good. And then gently come back up to center. Now, some of you will be carrying a work belt around your waist. Those can weigh up to 20 to 30 pounds, right? So that changes how your pelvis is stable, which is attached to your lower back, which is also attached to your legs. So lower back pain is so very, very common. So we're going to scoot my camera back a little bit. So depending on what you're wearing and who's around, we're going to take one foot, bring it to the opposite knee. So you're right like this. If this is not available from your hip or your knee, you can just cross your ankles like that. Bring your ankles down to the ground though. If your ankle can come to that opposite knee, elbow comes to this knee, now you lean in and then flex this foot. Flex it, flex it, flex it. Good. So notice where you feel that. Notice if you've got two sits bones down on the seat. If one starts to come up, that tells us something about what's going on in your hip. If you can bring that sits bone down and the knee comes up, that's okay. We're just noticing. These are big muscle groups. They take a little longer to respond. So let's take another deep breath in. Make sure your top foot is flexed and maybe a little pressure on the knee. Just notice the external rotation of that thigh bone into the hip socket. That's really important for keeping your hips healthy, especially if you're sitting all day in a training. Good. Now uncross that leg, cross to the other side. Notice what's different here. Take a moment to settle. Notice your sits bones here. Flex that floating foot, elbow to the knee, we lean in. So if you have to sit for a long time, you're listening to things, you're focusing on things, you can even do this in your police car. Open up your door, turn to the side, and you can lean, and it opens up that hip. This will help lower back help, SI joint help, sacrum help, sciatica help, that kind of thing. We're breathing. I'm trying to distract you. Good. Now come back up. Let both feet come back down to the floor. Take a deep breath in. When you're ready to exhale, you're going to come to standing. Good. Bring your hands to the table in front of you here. Good. So notice how this feels. You notice the temperature of your hand on the table. Notice if you had to move some things around, right? So we're going to come up to our fingertips here. Turn your palms forward and slowly start to lower your hand down onto the table. So some of us will get our hand all the way down. For some of us, that's a terrible idea. And you just go this far and your thumbs are floating. If you're about halfway down, your thumbs are still floating, that's great. If you're all the way down, you're gonna lift your thumbs, try to lift your thumbs. If your thumbs are floating, you're gonna make circles. But notice where you feel that. Is it more here in the arm? Is it more in the hand? Is it more in the thumb? Just gonna notice where you feel it. Good, deep breath in. On the exhale, come back to your fingertips, turn your palms towards you, and this time roll your hands down onto the table. Good. So just notice how that feels. Notice what adjustments you want to make here. And you've got this elbow crease right here. And oftentimes the elbow creases will just face each other. So we're going to see, this is telling us about our shoulder here, how this upper arm bone fits into the shoulder socket. Can you turn that elbow crease forward? And then back. And then forward. So the movement is in the shoulder, it's not in the elbow. So we're not bending the elbow and we're not swinging like this. We're keeping the arm straight. So shoulder side, elbow crease forward, elbow crease in. So if you, this like is a tiny movement for you, that's okay. We just need to know what's going on in the shoulder. So back and forth. Good. And then gently come back up to your fingertips here. So we've got all these fingers, right, and thumbs. So can you, without touching or helping, can you curl that index finger under? Yeah. And now uncurl it. Good. Can you curl the pinky finger under? Mine's a little more awkward on this side. Curl the pinky finger under. And see if you, while that pinky finger is curled under, can you lift the index finger? Yeah, it takes a minute, right? Lower that down, uncurl the pinky finger, curl the middle finger under. Notice where you feel that in the hand. And let's rotate the thumbs. Good. Bring the thumbs to stillness and see if you can lift your pinky finger. Yeah, look at that. Good. Now lower down the pinky finger, uncurl the middle finger. And now see if you can curl that ring finger under. Good. Now lift the middle finger. Ooh, that's different, right? Good. Now uncurl that ring finger, curl that middle finger back under, and now lift the ring finger. Can you do it? Can anybody do it? If anybody can do it, Chief Nun, take their picture. Mine won't lift. Good. It's all about how your hands connected, right? Good. Now uncurl that, wiggle some energy back into the fingers and come back to seated. Good. Now we twisted with the back, right? So all of you have a back to your chair. So we're going to twist again. See if you can hold on to the back of that chair and lift the elbow. What? So notice how that feels in this shoulder. Good. Now can you wave that elbow back and forth slightly? Good. Now lower that arm down. Let's go to the other side. So you're going to grab onto the back of the chair and lift the elbow. So you're turning that arm in the shoulder socket. And can we wave? Oh, I'm a little more awkward on this. Good, but just notice how that feels. Good. And then we'll release that, let that go. Now, looking at your surroundings, can you be a little more comfortable? You're in this required training, right? So you have to sit in here. You have to listen. You're probably on your phone a little bit. You're on maybe a laptop. Maybe you're taking notes with your hands, but like you're here, right? So you can be uncomfortable all day, or you can make a few adjustments to be a little more comfortable. So just take a moment to do that. So shift something, take a sip of something, whatever you need to do. Just take a deep breath in. As you let it out, remembering you don't ever have to practice yoga. You don't ever have to stretch. But whatever job you do, you have to take your body with you. And in your line of work, having your body be healthy and in touch with what's going on in your brain is really helpful. If you see something you need to run from, your body needs to know. If you need to see something you need to run towards, your body needs to know, right? So let's take another deep breath in and let it out. So the research tells us that the situations and the stories that you will see and hear will settle somewhere in your body. They will. That's what the research says. So taking a few moments to do these kind of stretches as a team or as an individual in your car before you go back into your house after you've been at work or before you get out of your car to go to work can be a little helpful for the mind-body connection and to help you see, oh, I'm holding way more tension in this arm, or maybe I tore something in this arm, or I don't need to carry so much on this side, or my hip is doing something because this shoulder is not doing right. That kind of thing. Take another deep breath with me and let it go. Thank y'all for being here. What you do is so important. We're very, very grateful, and I hope you have a great rest of your training.